Hello, welcome back to Girls Guts Glory. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for sponsoring this season. This is a continuation of our last season, GGG Afterlife, and now we are in GGG Risen. So we'll introduce ourselves. Oh, wait, shout out to Johannes Plenio, coolfreepix.com for some of these cool background images. Rachel.
Shout out to James RPG on Patreon for my very cool animated D&D backgrounds. I'm going to be showing off a lot of them in this show.
So I'm Kim Doherty, and I play Daisy Gamwich, your changeling artificer.
I'm Erica Fermina, and I play Leaf, your goblin druid.
I'm Alice Gretchen, and I play Valada Nailo, your centaur bard.
I am Kelly Lynn D'Angelo, and I am playing Jacques de Courgence, cleric Furbolg.
I am Kellen Coleman, and I play Rufus Rippon, the rock gnome wizard.
And I'm Rachel Seeley, your human DM. So who thinks they can give me a good recap and get advantage on one roll in this episode?
I can, but I'm not gonna because I want someone else to do it because mine take too long.
Also, make sure you write it down because I don't
didn't use it.
Yeah.
No.
People keep forgetting. You have one.
I'll try.
Sure.
So we traveled from, I believe, Tentown to Dunmauger. I went to the temple with Jacques and, why is my brain broken, Rufus, while Daisy and Valara went to the library. Valara and Daisy, Valara read a comic book. Daisy was reading about the upcoming festival in Dunmauger, and we met a tall, beautiful, orcish, badass woman named
Captain
Tamsyn, also known as Night Captain. And my notes are not very thorough this episode, but I'm going for it anyway. Tamsyn told us about an event where a bunch of undead came out of like the ice spire and killed a bunch of people, and she couldn't save them. And I was guessing that it was in North Essen, which is a small town of like 60 people on a good day. And she led us to an arena where there was Levon's greatsword, and a bunch of other magical weaponry on the wall, including a spear that Jacques saw in his vision when he spoke to Blanca. And she doesn't trust us because we are kind of undead now. Except for Jacques, who is a cleric, traveling around with a bunch of zombs.
That was really good. You didn't miss anything important.
Okay.
Nicely done.
And we
Very
have to
concise. I
we
love
have to
it.
prove ourselves to her.
Yeah, that's what she's asked.
But yeah, and then we can choose one of the weapons to take with us, which obviously we'll choose the spear, right?
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but I kind of hope you do.
It could go anyway.
It could go anyway, and I understand that as a DM. You choose to your heart's content, and we'll see how it affects the story.
All right, let's do it.
So, when we last left off, you were staring down the blade of Tamsyn Stillstone, this gigantic, beautiful, very intimidating woman. She's holding her blade out as if prepared to strike. And you see she's changed into a full suit of armor. And she also has a shield by her side that has the emblem of Blanca on it. It's a scale, and one side is weighed down by a pomegranate that's been split open and the seeds are falling out. She stares each of you down, having just announced that she knows that you are undead. And Jacques, as you look at her, a couple of things start to get put into place, because a lot of Blanca's constituents, or holy folk, are either clerics or paladins, and she doesn't look like a cleric. She looks way too well armored to be a cleric right now. And there's a touch of some kind of holy light to her. Very faint. But she stares. And she waits for some kind of answer.
Needless to say, you ask why they are undead. I have similar questions. But
Truthfully, we don't know, but we are very good intentioned. We've been semi-dead, undead for a while, but we only have the best of intentions. Can I try to persuade her?
Yeah, roll to persuade.
Okay. That'll be 25.
Ooh. All right. Her face does not betray any change of emotion, but she lowers her sword a little. It's still ready by her side, and she's still poised to strike, but it's no longer pointing at your throats. She clears her throat and she says, "You must understand. That weapon is my father's. I will not let it go into errant hands lightly."
If it makes you feel any better, when we were dead, our names were in a book of great heroes. So we're not, we're not just playing around, despite my mustache.
You have this book?
No, it's in the afterlife.
Then how do I know you are telling the truth? I must
'Cause
simply
I'm
trust
really-
you.
I'm really bad at lying.
I do not know
Yes.
you. You are all strangers to me.
But we are not like strangers in Blanca, are we? No?
No.
We are connected by shared not just spirituality, but she no doubt has given you sort of powers that are undescribable. I know that we each harness them in different ways, but can you find faith in Blanca and her guidance in me bringing them to you?
Unfortunately, no. You are still strangers. I hope you understand.
Hi. We understand. I can tell you I understand. But is
Do
there
you?
a way? Yes. And I am asking you, is there a why am I French all of a sudden? Is there a way for us to prove to you that we are good people and that we're here to help? Perhaps.
How would you prove yourselves worthy?
How would you believe us? What would it take?
You may fight me, and you will lose. Or you may help me in the city.
Oh, we're very helpful.
Very helpful.
D'accord.
It's pretty helpful.
She sheaths her sword. And she puts her hands on her hips, puts her shield on her back.
I try to
Is
block
this,
out the shield, the holy symbol.
the shield's
right?
on her back. So it's no longer facing you.
Okay.
You're good for now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she
One thing to note: animals are now scared of run away from Rufus and Daisy.
Yeah.
And Valara's eyes burn when she sees holy symbols. So
yeah,
And I
and
can't eat real food,
yeah, Leaf can no longer
And
eat
but
real
it makes
food.
you vomit.
but I got good berries, so I'm chilling.
So she looks at all of you again and she says, "I am sure you have seen in this town, we maintain a certain kind of lifestyle for everyone. Unfortunately, there are those who desire more, of course. And they go about it by unsavory means. We believe there is a group of people here who, for lack of a better term, have rebranded themselves as bandits, as thieves. We do not know who they are. They wear masks, and they are stealthy. And some of the few refugees who came in from Essen have been robbed of their belongings. Meager belongings, but still. Sometimes when you have everything, you do things for the thrill of it. If you are to prove yourselves worthy, find these people and bring them to me so that I may pass judgment.
Can you describe how we might know these people? Do they go by a certain name?
No.
Where?
Otherwise, I would have found them myself.
I have a question, recently I feel like it's all the fad to wear a mask. So just questioning, is it a mask like this?
No, it covers
Or is
the
it a
eyes
mask
as
like
well.
this?
It is a full mask.
Okay,
Not
it's
one for your
not
protection.
common.
No.
Not this.
No. Not a mask for protection. It is a mask for secrecy.
Yeah, just bringing in a little timely humor. Hashtag COVID. All right.
Not in D&D.
No,
plague here.
I was breaking the fourth wall of it all just because we're on a Zoom.
If you don't
I saw that
mind,
door, kicked it open.
if you don't mind, I want to reiterate that we are here as service to Blanca. So it's if this task takes us too long, we might time is of the essence, is what I'm trying to say.
Are there any clues to help lead us in the right direction? Have you noticed any specific objects that one might have worn, or that was stolen? Something that was stolen that we might be able to track?
Or where these robberies took place, maybe.
Yes, the robberies took place down on the east side. That is where we have some housing, some empty houses that we put these refugees up in, so we could give them lodging. I do not know specifics. Unfortunately, these poor refugees were very scared, and they do not talk very much.
Okay, is there anyone that we can speak to? One of these refugees?
You can try any of them. You will know their houses, because people tend to leave gifts for them on their doorstep.
All right. Well, let's go there. See if we can talk. If there's something that's been taken, perhaps we can try and track it with Jacques' very special skill. Let's go to the east side then.
Allons-y.
We will prove to you, Tamsyn, that you can trust us.
I sincerely hope so.
Come on, Artemis. Come on, Calliope.
Right behind you.
Are they supposed to be as loud as they are? I turn to Rufus and ask as I'm watching Daisy and Artemis and all of her contraptions walk away.
Her little animals.
Yes, they are very they're like rusty, and they are little like as they walk.
They got caught in the snow, so I feel like maybe a little rust. Maybe we could find a can of oil and put it on them, give it a little tin massage.
It does feel kind of weird oiling up somebody else's. Anyway,
we can let her do it.
Yes. If we see someone along the way.
All right. On that note,
we head to the east side.
You are heading to the east side, and it's literally just, there's a beautiful what's the word, compass rose set into the ground in front of the bigger fortress that you're in right now that you come out of. And you see some guards patrolling up above in the battlements that connect to the fortress in the back. The whole town's kind of shaped like a Christmas tree on a hill. So it goes up into a point, and the point is the fortress where Tamsyn and her guards are. And this compass tells you that the fortress itself is at the northern point. So it's easy enough to just go, oh, this direction, and go straight east. You know exactly where you're going, thankfully. The town is built so it's easy to navigate as well. And it begins to snow very, very lightly. And you hear music wafting through the streets from different taverns, and they all seem to be playing the same folk song. And you catch snippets of the words, and it's about Morna, and it's about the spring, and it's about the new dawn and flowers and beautiful spring things like that. But there's a hint of sadness to it because currently you're all still frozen. It's very cold outside. You head down, you go through a little bit of a market area. You pass a couple bakeries, some restaurants, you pass a barber, a lot of places that are selling clothes. And the further down you go, the more it gets into like neighborhood area and suburbs, and all of these houses are kind of piled right next to each other, but there's enough room for gardens in front of them. Again, very well manicured. And you come to a series of houses that has their mailboxes are boarded shut, but on the steps leading up to the house itself, this dark wood house, you see gifts that have been left on the doorstep on at least 15 houses down this street on either side. So you have your pick.
This is the area, everybody. This is okay.
Yes, and I see gifts, which is what she said we would see on the refugees' houses. Should we just go knock on the first one?
Or is there anybody around who's taking a walk or stroll from the restaurant here?
Yeah, you see some people very nicely dressed. You see an older man and a younger woman, and they're holding hands. It looks like it's probably his child. She's maybe 13. They're tieflings. They're dressed in beautiful royal purples. And the girl has a very long dress, and she's holding it up with one hand and catching up to her dad. You see someone walking up and down the street selling flowers. The flowers have some kind of enchantment to them. You see a few couples walking, some gentlemen leisurely strolling by.
I'm going to go up to the closest person to me and say hello.
You go up to the woman selling flowers. She's fairly young, maybe 18 or 19, and she looks at you expectantly with a smile, a young human woman, and she says, "Would you like a rose?"
No, I actually just had a question.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know this area that we're in?
What, the East District?
Yes. Do you live here?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. We are trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with these thieves and robbers. So, do you have any information about what's been going on here? I'm Tiffany, by the way. This is Artemis, and
Hi.
you
can call me Sam. No, I don't know too much. I came here with my family a couple days ago.
Oh, are you a refugee?
Sort of. We're from a town a little bit further south.
Do you know any of the refugees who came from? Where were the ones that we are looking for again? They are from.
Well, we're looking for the
right?
ones who were robbed. Do you know of anyone who's unfortunately had things taken from them?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. The third house on the right.
Thank
That-
you.
Yeah.
How much are your flowers?
Oh, 3 copper.
I will take one. Thank you.
Thank you. And she rifles through her flowers and pulls out a white lily that she gives you, and it has this enchantment on it so that the pollen that's coming off of the stems in the center sparkle a little bit when they fall.
This is absolutely lovely. Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
So you said third house on the
Third
right.
house. It's the one with the big basket of fruit.
Thank you. You've been very helpful. Good luck with everything. This flower.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I also get a few flowers? I
Yeah.
would have a couple in my back pocket.
And she just
like about
shows, she shows you the basket for you to try. There's a bunch of violets and peonies and lilies and one orchid.
I would love to buy a variety.
Okay.
So I would like to at least get maybe like a solid silver's worth.
Sure.
And then after I get a couple of them and put a few in my knapsack, I find the prettiest one, and then I go, and this one I bought for you. So thank you, Sam. You appreciate it.
Thank you. And she sticks it into a lapel on her bright green jacket.
Leaf digs out a few coppers from his pocket and walks up and offers them, and is like, I want one too, please.
She crouches down and she peers at you and she says, I have something special for you. And she pulls out what is not a flower, but it's a frond from a fern. It's just a big long, it almost looks like a feather, and it curls a little bit on the end. And there's this enchantment on it that causes these little dewdrops to form, and they glow just slightly. And she sticks it like around the corner and into the lapel of your big fur coat so that it's sticking out, and it curls up like this right next to your face.
Leaf's eyes are the size of saucers. And he just like drops the coins into her hand and is staring at it.
Reminder that Leaf has a magenta mustache
And the goatee and the eyebrows.
and the tall fur
Yeah.
Russian hat.
It looks utterly ridiculous, and I love it so
like
much.
that.
Yeah, like that.
Yep.
You look like a weird little nutcracker, and I love it.
Little
I'm
goblin
here for it.
nutcracker.
A little goblin nutcracker.
Daisy's gonna head to the third house with the basket of fruit.
Okay,
I'm right behind. I'm
I
just
follow.
following Daisy the whole time.
of course. So you head over to the house. All of the curtains are drawn. The window is closed, or the door is closed rather. And you see an assortment of things that have been left on the doorstep, but they have not been touched at all.
Daisy's gonna knock. Hello? Hello, is anyone home?
There's a long beat before you hear a, who's that?
Hello, my name is Daisy Gamwich, and I'm here with my friends. We're here to help. We wanted to ask you a few questions about the unfortunate events that happened recently here.
Hey, what's that? What you want?
I wanted to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
The door creaks open and you see just the top of a chain lock, but you also see a face floating into view. It's a dwarven man with the most intense eyebrows you've perhaps ever seen in your life. They are bushy and huge. They take up most of his forehead. And he has small, dark eyes that he's peering up at you with. His skin is pale. He has a few wrinkles here and there and just a couple of age spots as well. But his eyebrows, the big caterpillars on his face, are knit together. And he stares up at you and he says, yeah?
Well, my friends and I, we're on a mission of sorts to help figure out what's been going on here, who's responsible for the tragic robberies that have been going on.
Okay.
So what can you tell me about what happened here? If you have any specifics of things that were taken or things that you saw, clues as to who might be responsible.
My stuff was stolen by about 3 people who broke into my house. I think there were a couple more that were stealing from the house next door while the 3 were stealing from mine. They stole nothing expensive, but they stole. They made off with a bunch of things from my mom's soap chest.
Your mom's
Hope chest. Hope chest.
Hope chest.
No. It's a thing you put at the end of your bed that you usually lock, but I'm a fool, so I didn't. But you put family heirlooms in it. They stole.
Are there any specific heirlooms you can describe?
Oh, yeah. I was about to say they stole blankets that my grandma made. They stole a jacket that I was going to give my daughter. Not that that matters.
Is there one specific that you can describe? Because my friend here has a knack for finding specific objects, but we need a very keen description.
Or if you could draw us a picture, that would be great.
Yeah, a drawing would be.
I have to be honest, everybody. Quick aside, I don't know if he has the. He seems very. I don't know if he is a craftsman artist, particularly. So we might need to get one of us.
Lara has a charcoal
Drawing?
ready.
Yeah,
with a pad.
we can do a bit of you'll describe and we'll try and draw and we'll tweak to get as close to the object as possible.
He's frowning. Daisy, since you're the one talking to him, can you make an insight check?
Please be nicer to me today.
Mm-hmm.
21.
21, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You notice a look on his face of fear. And he starts to shake his head, and his jowls kind of move with him, and he says, no, thank you. No, thank you. And he shuts the door.
Oh, okay. Well, he said the house next door was being robbed as well. Perhaps we will have better luck there. Thank you for your time. Please let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
Before we go, I just think a little. I want to say a prayer to Blanca because I think he's in pain.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say a quick prayer for his grief and his pain.
You get an immediate response saying, again, without words, yes, thank you. And you get the sense that she's been here because there's a lot going on here that these people have been through. So you feel her presence and it begins to flit through the houses.
We're onto something. We're in the right spot, but I don't know if he is willing. So you lead the way, Daisy.
All right, let's go next door.
Onward.
Which house are you going to? There's one on the right and one on the left.
Is there stuff sitting in front of both?
Yeah, not as much stuff as what's on the older man's house.
Did he, when he mentioned next door, did he do any sort of like head gesture?
No, unfortunately.
All right. Well, should we split up and knock on both doors, or should we just go one to the other?
I do have a question.
I'll go to the right. Who wants to come?
Sorry, what was your question?
Oh, I was going to turn to everybody here and say, you know, I've cast a few spells here. There, does anybody have anything up their sleeve that is like is also like, are you magic? I've only seen you in battle very quickly, and I do not know what you are capable of. I see one of you turned into a vulture, but
Oh, you know, I do have, and Daisy pulls out her goggles, her eyes of charming, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I hate to use this on someone who's willing to speak normally, but I do have these eyes of charming.
Yes, that's powerful, but perhaps just keeping it in our back pocket in case, because again, time is of the essence, and
You're right. You're right.
just in case.
I will go to the house on the left. Ruth, you'll go to the house on the right, and we'll see if we have any luck. Who'd like to come with me? Anyone?
I will. I
Oh.
don't mind.
All right, Jacques and I, and then the rest of you go to the other house.
All right.
Right.
So Daisy's gonna go to the house on the left and knock.
All right. You head over to the house on the left. You notice a very well taken care of rose bush in the front area, and there's small ferns and small white flowers that have been planted around it as decoration. It looks very lovingly taken care of. When you knock on the door, it opens slowly, and a young halfling boy leans around the corner, and he looks up at you and he says, "Hi,
Hello, my name is Daisy. What's your name?
David."
Daisy and David. They sound lovely together, don't they? This is Calliope.
Oh,
And Daisy holds out Calliope. And this here is Artemis and our friend Jacques.
hi. You're so
Hi.
tall. And he opens the door fully now, and you see the hallway is very bare behind him. There's nothing on the walls. There's no rugs. There's no light fixtures even. You see in a far corner what looks like a travel bag, but that's about it. It's unlike a lot of the other places that you've seen around here that have been so heavily decorated.
So, we're here to ask a few questions. Are your parents home?
My mom is upstairs.
Oh, well, I'll ask you a question first. I heard some things were taken. Did you have anything stolen from you? Oh, I'm so sorry. What was it that you had taken?
They stole my stuffy.
Your stuffy. What does your stuffy look like?
He's a turtle.
A turtle. What color?
Green.
How big? Oh, I'm so sorry that you lost your stuffy.
His name is David too.
Oh, David the turtle.
David
he,
too, the turtle.
David too the turtle.
Does he have any sort of specific things on his design? Does he have a hole somewhere? Did you pull off one of his eyes or something because you hang out? Okay. The more specific you get, because stuffy sounds great, the happier I would be.
His arm fell off, and my mom sewed it back on with some purple thread.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm so sorry that you lost your stuffy. But here, and Daisy's going to reach into her bag and kind of dig through until she finds a little wind up. It's a rabbit, basically. It's a little wind up rabbit, and when you wind it, it jumps.
He immediately just goes, and he grabs it out of your hand and holds it very delicately, and just with these giant saucer eyes stares at it. And you hear upstairs, David? Who's at the door?
Hello, Daisy Gamwich. We'd love to speak with you.
And from coming down the stairs, you see an older halfling woman. She has her curly hair up in a bun. She looks very worn and tired, but she's still very pretty. She has on a simple apron and a simple gown, and she comes to stand in the doorway with David, and she puts her hand on his shoulder and she says, "Oh, they've been leaving gifts again. Sorry about this." And she goes around the porch and she picks up a bunch of things and she brings them inside. And she says, "Do we have you to thank for these? The neighbors here, everyone in this town is so nice. We're kind of overrun. Our kitchen is overflowing with food right now, and it's just the two of us. So if you need any food, please let me know."
Oh no.
Eleanor, by the
You're
way.
so kind. No, we can't take responsibility for these gifts. Although I did give your son the little wind up.
Oh, and David's still just like with his eyes huge, staring at this little wind up rabbit.
But we're in kind of a not a rush, but we are trying to figure out what's been going on here. So with the robberies, and we're seeing if you had any information that any small detail could be helpful.
Well, I can't give you much. It happened in the middle of the night. I woke up because I heard someone up the street screaming, and I saw a figure in the corner of my room, and they took my husband's staff. It doesn't even have any magical properties. It's just a chunk of wood. And you hear David down below goes, "Yeah, Dad's still at home." And she shushes him.
Are there any can you describe the staff to me? What is it made of? Are there any specific markings on it?
I mean, it's pretty simple. He was just a shepherd. He carved it himself. It's a shillelagh, specifically, that shepherds use. It's carved at the top, like a cudgel. He carved his initials on the bottom, but they're probably worn down by now.
And I kind of whisper to Daisy very quickly behind her, and I say, I actually think that not to be odd about it, but I think that stuffy might be the way to go with my locate object.
Yes, I in case they tossed it, because they may not hold on to a stuffy. I just want to
Oh, that's so sad. If they toss stuffy, I don't know if I can get through the day. And so I just kind of.
And David looks up like, what?
Oh,
Don't worry.
What were the initials that are worn down on the bottom?
RF. Rupert Ferndale.
I'm sorry?
Rupert Ferndale.
Rupert Ferndale.
Eleanor Ferndale and David Ferndale.
Is there anything we can do for you? Anything at all before we go?
Eleanor puts her hands in her hair and she scratches her head and she says, no, honestly, everyone here has been so nice. The night captain's been coming around every day to make sure that we're all right. And I mean, they're bringing furniture. Everyone here is too good. No, we're except for these people that stole from us. No, we're all right. Thank you.
I do have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The figure was in your room. Did it move any specific way? Did it enter or exit any particular way?
It was very stealthy. It didn't make much sound, but when it was going out the window, I think I saw a hoof. It wasn't wearing boots.
Okay. But I hope that you can rest easy at night knowing that we're trying to find them.
Thank you. We've been locking our windows now, unfortunately.
Stay safe.
You too.
Blanca's blessings.
Goodbye, David. Enjoy your toy.
He just smiles up at you and you notice he's missing one of his front teeth now and he just goes, thank you. All right, so the other house. Rufus, Valara, and Leaf, you head off to the house that's on the right of the house that you were in before. And you knock on the door. There's a pause, and again you hear, yes?
Hello. We're here to talk to you about helping you get back your things from the robberies.
The door opens. And on the other side is a young human woman. And she has her hair kind of covering half of her face messily. And she says, how did you know about this?
We've been tasked by someone in the community who's told us about the robberies. We're so sorry for your loss, whatever it was, and for the fear that it's instilled probably in you. And we just wanted to help out and see if we could catch these people, but we need to ask you a few questions. Is that all right?
Can the three of you make a perception check?
Yeah.
7.
15.
I believe it's 13.
Okay. Leaf, because of your smaller stature, when you're looking up into her face, you can kind of see underneath the fringe of her wheat gold hair. Her skin is very pure and without a lot of blemishes, but you see a dark shape underneath. Something right here. And she looks to all of you and she says, No, I don't want trouble. No,
We're
thank you.
friends
I
of
don't want.
Tamsyn.
We're not trying to cause trouble. We just want to help.
She looks around outside as if she's trying to see someone. And she says, if they see me talking to you, I don't want trouble.
Perhaps we could go in the backyard, or you could invite us in.
If they see me invite you in, I'm in more trouble than I am now.
Who are you afraid of?
No, thank you.
What
No,
if we
thank you.
sneak around the back? We can be very stealthy. We'll act like you will go, oh, boo-hoo, she won't talk to us, but then we'll meet you somewhere else.
She considers it for a minute. And she gives you just a very small, very slight nod. And then shuts the door.
Okay.
Let's go around back.
Yeah, but first we gotta walk somewhere else.
Well, we could walk somewhere behind a tree, go invisible.
That's a bummer. She wouldn't speak to us.
I
So,
wonder why she wouldn't talk to us. Do you want me to
it's
cast
really annoying.
Pass Without Trace? We just wanted to help. Pass Without Trace?
What'd you say?
Do you want me to cast Pass Without Trace?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go behind this tree.
Okay.
I guess we'll just
Oh.
walk away from this house.
Before I go behind the tree, I say, you think she would want to talk to me, being that I am a famous rock musician?
A lot of
Yeah.
people turn their eyes on you when you say that. And now you have a couple of people coming out of their houses that are fans. And they come to say hello. You see
Oh.
an older turtle woman that comes up to you and she says, I'm such a fan.
He has a problem with saying that wherever he goes, apparently.
Yes, he does.
And I didn't want to be untrue to that. But okay, I'm going to be a distraction. I'll stay here with my fans because even though I hate that.
No, oh, awful.
And
Horrible.
you all go, you talk. I'll stay here and, be a distraction.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So I go over and go, oh, have you seen look at my new haircut. Yeah.
Applause.
And
There's
I
just a
go
group
and
of
I
people. Yeah.
Pied Piper them the other direction.
Okay, perfect. You now
Yeah.
have a group of people asking you to perform for them.
Oh, great.
That's actually perfect. You serve as a really good distraction. Valara and Leaf. There is a break in the rows of houses that's a little road that goes back to a back area. And when you go back there trying to find the back of this house, you see there's a little lane that goes behind all of the houses, and that's where supposedly trash and laundry gets picked up. And you head down it, and you see at the far end on your left, the house that you'd been at before, you can assume, the door opens just a little bit in the back.
All right. I'll cast pass without. Well, first I want to look around and see if anyone's looking at us.
Make a perception check.
Same.
Yeah.
15.
19.
With a 15, you're looking around and you don't see anyone. With a 19, Leaf, you see up in a window a very pale face watching you. It looks young. Tabaxi. Pale fur.
Flora, there's someone looking at us. I don't know.
You can see the window is fogging up right in front of their nose.
I don't know if I don't know if we should be concerned.
I give them a little wave.
You see a little paw come up and they wave back.
You think it's just a child? Maybe a little tabaxi kitten.
Oh, I love tabaxi kittens. They are so cute.
You see the face begins to press against the glass and the nose just goes like, sheep.
Okay, is this in the window of the house that we're approaching?
Yeah.
Okay, but the woman who opened it was
A human.
a human. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Do we see her in the door? You said there was a door kind of ajar?
Yeah, there is a door kind of ajar in the back.
Okay.
As you're looking up at this kitten, though, you see them turn their head and they look back down at you and they go behind a curtain and they disappear.
I approach the door and I call inside. Hello, we were not followed.
You see the blonde woman's face resurface, and she opens the door a little bit further and she looks out and she looks down either side of the alley and she says, "All right, come in. Please, hurry."
And I awkwardly try to fit myself in through her little doorway.
She opens it as much as possible to let you in. She's like, no
Yes, I'm
offense.
quite big.
You're larger than I thought.
No offense taken.
Okay, I apologize. And she
Thank you
shuts the
so
door
much
behind you.
for letting us in. We understand that there have been a series of robberies. What can you tell us about what was taken, how they might have broken in, what they looked like? We would love to help get you your things back.
And catch them.
Well, she begins to tell you when around the corner up the stairs you hear a little and you look up and you see with their head between the bars of the banister this little white tabaxi kitten. She's wearing a big poofy blue dress that has a bunch of ribbons on it and she's staring down at you, just smiling a little bit, and the woman goes, "Oh, Violet, honey, not now. Go upstairs." And she just sits there. And the woman
Valara
looks-
can't help herself and pulls out a ribbon and knows what happens to cat people when there's a ribbon around. And she kind of flutters it, not like her whips, but kind of does like little whip tricks
Like a
with this little ribbon.
thing. Oh my
Yes. Oh, does she have to go upstairs, please? She is so cute, and we were waving from the above.
When you see this, when the ribbon comes out, the kitten, her eyes get blown and her pupils go huge, and she like tries to catapult herself through the banister. She like sidewayses her body and she shoots herself through. She gets stuck halfway and you see her little feet dangling on the other side, and then she shoves her way over and she lands on the floor on all fours, gets up on two, waddles over to you and starts to just with the ribbon. And the young woman standing between Leaf and Valara watching this just like,
She can't keep it. Don't worry.
okay, thank you. She's
I'm-
wonderful.
We really
Yeah.
like kids.
Yeah, you're pretty good with kids. Violet, what do you say, honey? And she looks up and she goes, "Thank you." She grabs the ribbon and she starts to just tug on it.
I let her pull it away so we can get back to business.
All right. As soon as you let her pull it away, she has it in her hands and she bolts for the staircase, and you just see this trail of ribbon as she runs up the stairs with it.
A
And she's
darling
gone.
little kitten cub.
The woman shakes her head and she says, "She's not even mine, but her folks, they were my neighbors in Essen, and a look comes over her face. It's just drained immediately. Sorry, what were you asking me earlier? I forgot.
We came to ask about the robbery. What was taken, what the bandits' move looked like. We're here to take care of get justice, and then we'll probably go head to Essen.
Oh no, you shouldn't go to Essen. There's nothing there. It's gone. There's no point going there.
Well, even if we do not go to Essen, we would love to help return your things from whoever took them. And we would like to understand why they are taking things that apparently have no value. I'm guessing the things they stole were of not great value?
Sentimental?
Monetarily?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you know?
We've been hearing things, like I said, we are friends of Tamsyn. She said that they were taking things that were not even, it seems to be rather a mystery. So I'm thinking.
We spoke to a neighbor as well.
I mean, yeah, they're not taking anything that's worth much. They took all my shoes. I mean,
Taking a woman's shoes.
I know. Yeah, I know. Thankfully, Tamsyn brought by these, and she looks down at her feet. And you notice that she's wearing shoes that are slightly too large for her, and you get the feeling that Tamsyn gave her a pair of her own shoes. They're very nicely made. They're very soft, supple leather, and they have this gold embroidery going up the top. They look fairly new as well. Like they've maybe been worn once for a special occasion, and they have little bits of pearl that are embroidered up along the top, and it just sort of falls open like a lapel. They're very pretty, and they look like they would have probably cost a nice gold piece or something.
Those are lovely shoes.
They are.
I'm so sorry, I did not catch your name.
I didn't drop it. My name is Juliet.
Julia. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Valara. This is Leaf.
Hello, Leaf. Hello, Valara.
So they took your shoes. Did you happen to glimpse them?
I did. And she pulls back her wheat blonde hair, and you see this gigantic bruise on her face. And she says, "I fought them."
That's very brave of you. I'm so sorry that they left you with this. Do you have anything for the contusion? Do you have any herbs? I'm rifling through my saddlebag to see if I happen to have anything.
I'm not a healer. I have a sword, and that's it. I did get one of them cut pretty good.
Would you like
Right
us
across the
to
chest.
heal it?
Can you? I wouldn't normally ask because it's not that bad, but I don't want Violet to see it.
Yeah. Leaf's gonna. May I take out his hand? Or hold
She
out
puts
his hand.
she puts her hand in yours, and it's much larger than your
I'll
little
put
hand.
his other hand on top and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay. The bruise goes through the cycle of healing very quickly. It fades to it's a deep dark purple right now, and then it fades to this ugly yellow, and then it just sort of sinks into her face, and it's gone.
I don't know if she needs the hit points, but 6.
Nah, she's good.
Figured I might as well offer.
She smiles and puts a hand up to her face, and you notice she's rather pretty. She has a very soft face, very plump. She has broad shoulders. Her hair is sort of shaggily cut, and her skin is again just blemish free, a tan now that the bruise is gone. Thank you.
Good as new.
Thanks. It feels great. I
How big
appreciate
were
it.
the intruders?
Well, there were 2 of them in my house. If you think I look bad, you should see them. I hit one of them in the face, and I felt just a jaw. The other one that I cut, though, it was hard on the stomach, like armor or something. But they both wore long black cloaks, and it was dark. I didn't have time to light a candle or turn on any lights or anything. But I slashed one of them pretty good.
Were they about as tall?
Yeah.
No, one was about here. This tall one was about here. The taller one's the one that I got with my sword. I keep it right next to my bed.
All right. Can you describe any of the shoes that were taken in great detail?
Sure.
We have a friend who can sometimes find things, but it has to be, he has to be able to see it.
Of course.
Specific. I get out my parchment notepad and charcoal.
Okay. She begins to tell you about these work boots that she had. You get the sense that when she lived in Essen, she was some kind of farmer, but she was also part of a town guard, because she knows her way around a sword. She's rather handy with it. You can see, even though she's plump, she's got a lot of muscle. About halfway through describing her favorite pair of work boots that were rather new when they were stolen, from upstairs you hear this thunk, 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 and coming down the stairs is this old turtle man. His scales are a deep, deep blue. His face is just rife with wrinkles and sagging. His eyelids are so heavy that his eyes squint a little bit, and he's got a couple of warts, and he has these giant, bushy white eyebrows. He's wearing just a simple tunic, and he has a walking staff with a blue band on the bottom. And he gets down to the bottom of the stairs, and he looks up, and he says, "Company.
I'm sorry, did you say this is a turtle man?
It's a turtle who is a turtle.
Turtle man.
A turtle, yeah. So she looks over and she says, "Oh, sorry." She heads over to him and she starts talking to him in hushed tones. And he's smiling, just that vacant smile that older folks get sometimes. But he turns and looks at you and he says, I have something that was stolen too."
What did they take from you, good sir?
"Oh, my favorite shawl. My wife made it for me.
What did it look like?
It was a weave. It was blue and purple, and it had a picture of a dolphin on it on the back."
A dolphin?
Mm-hmm.
I have heard of these things.
Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. We used to live by the sea a long time ago, and then we moved up to Essen, and, there aren't dolphins up there, but because it's a port town, we still see a lot of whales and fish, but it's too cold for dolphins. He says it with such authority.
Well, thank you very, very much for your time. I look at Leaf. Do you think we have enough information?
I think so. Was there anything defining about your work boots or your shawl that might make it unique?
Juliet shrugs. She says, "Sorry, they're just work boots." And the older turtle man gets up close to one of you, and his breath doesn't smell great, but he takes Valara's hand and he looks up at you with this wrinkled face, and he's shaking just a little bit, just from age, and he says, "It was made with love. My wife gave it to me. It had a dolphin on the back."
Oh, that's beautiful. What color was the dolphin?
Blue, like me.
Blue.
That's my name, Blue.
Blue.
Aw.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Blue. I'm Valara. This is Leaf. We will do everything we can to return the shawl that your wife so lovingly made for you.
Thank you. Would you like some oatmeal?
You know, I believe our friends are waiting for us. Thank you so much for your very generous offer. We've actually already eaten breakfast for the day.
Yes, of course. Violet, oatmeal! He shouts it up the stairs, and you see this kitten appear at the top of the stairs, and she's standing there in like this power pose, and she has the string in her hand, the ribbon, and she comes charging down the stairs, and she has the ribbon trailing behind her, and she looks up at you and she says, I still have it.
Good, it's yours to keep.
I didn't lose it. Okay, time for oatmeal. She wanders off between your legs, and you get just the soft brush of fur against one of your ankles, Valara, and she heads off into a kitchen, and Blue cuts around you to follow her to make sure she doesn't get into any kind of trouble in the kitchen. Juliet's just standing there watching this, like, I kind of adopted them.
It's a nice little family you've adopted.
I love them, yeah. Everyone in Essen knew everybody else, so...
Yeah, it was a small place.
When it fell, I tried my best to go around and find people, and I found Violet, and I found Blue, and, not much else.
Well, we'll go out the back when we go to meet our friends, and I'll make sure we have a little bit of extra cover as well. Thank you so much for talking with us, and take care.
May the gods bless you with the best karma that can possibly be.
Oh, thank you. I'm not the religious type. Thank you for the
Me
sentiment.
neither, but whatever there is, I hope good things come your way.
Thank you, and you too. I hope that you stay safe.
And so I exit,
And as we're leaving, I'll give us a little pass without trace right before we leave the door, just to make sure.
All right. You cast Pass Without Trace, and as you're leaving, you notice, you turn to look over your shoulder just once on a hunch, and you see the white and blue gingham curtain for the kitchen of that house has been drawn back, and you see a little pink nose being pressed up against the window and a little paw doing that.
Oh, well, that was helpful. I hope I don't have colored charcoals, but hopefully it was a blue and purple with a blue dolphin, just like the old gentleman himself. Okay, hopefully Jacques will be able to do something with this.
Yeah, hopefully maybe everyone else got something as well.
Yes. And then I look ahead towards the street again, and I see Rufus still entertaining the masses. Look at him go.
Yes.
I'm in the middle of a little rendition. So, it's he says, it's something I've been working on. It's just loose right now. It's really loose. I mean, you want? I'll play it. I'll play it.
An encore me? No.
No. And you're so hip. Bo, don't you know my name's Artemis? I'm so hip. Bo, don't you know that's what I do? I exist. And he keeps going on.
Oh my god.
And he's writing the Artemis song.
I love it.
He's talking about. And it's just a work in progress.
It's immensely popular. It's immediately a hit. You hear the crowd cheer. It's about 25 people at this point that have come from like the marketplace and up the street. There's a couple refugees as well, and you see everyone just like having a great time. You've definitely lifted the mood down here.
Daisy approaches as he's playing this song, and she is just so touched.
Yeah. I look at you and I give you a little wink, because he still got it from back in the day. He knows, even though he's not, trying to perv on Daisy, he's still got that, that magic.
He's charming. Mm-hmm.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
And he's found a can. I found a can, and I'm just like hitting it as my percussion, like I'm stepping on it with my heel every time. Hippo, don't you know you like me and I want to go? I'm a hippo, don't you know? And it keeps going. I love that.
Artemis is dancing with Daisy.
I love it. This giant metallic hippo just like waddling back and forth in a dance. As you all gather together to listen to Rufus's song, you get just a brief reprieve where you get to have fun and you get to be happy and you get to smile and look at each other.
String.
And it's
that
chill.
golden string.
That golden string, man. And this is actually where we're going to take a little break. On that note.
We'll be back in a couple minutes, so stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with us. We're about to go adventure, I think. So
you are, in fact, you're about to go adventure and do something. We'll see how this goes. So you've all met up again with some information about the items that were stolen from these people, and we're all gathered around enjoying a lovely performance. What's the title of that song?
You're hip, oh, don't you know?
You're hip, oh, don't you know? A song
and then
about
parentheses, the Artemis song.
The Artemis song. A song about Artemis, your hippo companion. The crowd begins to disperse when you finish your song and you're saying your thank yous and you're signing autographs on some things with the quill. And eventually, people pretty much leave you alone. There are some groupies that you see up the street that are just watching and like, oh my God, it's Rufus.
All right, everybody. Rufus needs to recover from his performance.
Very nice.
Should we get Rufus? Do you want to get a coffee, or do you need to have some time for yourself and your artistic?
Yeah, I need to recoup. I feel like I need a water. Lovely to meet you. Thanks for the support. Okay, let's get this out of here. I'm over it. Spent. Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Let's go.
All right. Where are you headed?
Is there like a nearby park or anything, a place we can sit down?
Yeah, there's actually, if you go down the street further, You have to head. So the town is built again like a Christmas tree, but there's 3 main roads, one on the right, one down the center, one on the left. And then there's a bunch of little crisscrossing areas inside, but those are the main large streets. And if you go down, you can hit an alley and then go to the center street. And in the center street, you just a straight shot to a giant park. And there's a big, beautiful tree in the center. It has a big iron fence on top of a stone fence, but the gates have been taken off their hinges, so it's just always open to the public. And again, like a lot of the plant life here, there's some kind of spell to it that makes it evergreen. It's pristine. The grass is perfect and a bright spring green. Tumbling over my words. There's a bunch of rose bushes all around. It's rather large, and there's enough seating for a large party of people. There's also a little wedding arch in a corner and some fairy lights hanging from it. Very romantic.
Oh, as I bring you all there, I look at the wedding arch quite fondly, and I sigh, and then I turn to you all. Shall we sit somewhere around here? Is there a comfortable place?
Yeah, there's a couple stone benches. Also, the grass underneath your feet feels very plush.
Is
Is
it
it
still
snowing?
snowing?
It's not snowing in here, not in the park. It is everywhere else, and there's a light dusting of snow outside on the street, but not here.
Artemis curls up in the grass and just like starts rolling on her back.
Aw.
Alara does the same. Like a nice horse roll.
There's a couple off to the side on a blanket reading, and they've got a little picnic, and they're all wrapped up cozy, and you can see steam coming off of their mugs. And you get a very faint scent of mead. And they just watch you with a smile and go back to their book.
Jacques, are you
Somehow
up?
Girl is beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful city. They have a lot of money. You can just tell. A lot of resources.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of resources, but someone's stealing and Dawn's shoes and stuffed turtles. And what else did you tell me on the walk over here? I don't even know.
Yes, many things. Anyway,
Jacques,
sounds like we all got a lot.
Is it possible for you to try locate object on?
Yes. Well, the thing is, it sounds like we have quite a few options. We have the turtle. We have this shoal, this dolphin shoal you mentioned. But those two feel like the strongest leads. It's hard for me because I can only cast this so much, and also it only lasts for about 10 minutes, and it has a very specific radius. So if I am to cast it, we would want to probably peruse around the city in the hopes of it going off on my radar.
That makes sense. Get more centrally located.
Yes, which is perfect because that's where we are right now. It's the center of town. But yes, if there is a way to like speed up the process of my walking, that might be good. If somebody has some sort of steed or some sort of way to get me moving quicker.
We have a steed, and her name is Valara.
Valara, may I potentially ride you around town while I cast my spell?
I suppose.
If Valora doesn't want to be a steed, I could be a steed. If you
That would be
need me
great.
to, yeah.
I also think that we, if we need to, we can get a horse or a carriage, rent out the carriage, whatever you are most comfortable.
Or I could be I could be a horse. You
I'm
know.
not a very stealthy steed, given my top half. Leaf would make a much better steed.
I could be a flying thing again.
Oh yes,
Well-
flying be more if she carried you and flew. But although you are quite heavy.
Yes, to be honest, I am A, heavy, and B, you are all in shrouds of shadows. You're very hard to see in this park. Did you cast something that made it hard to see you?
Oh, sorry. As this little voice is coming from a shadow of darkness. I'll pass without trace.
No. Before you do, it might be good if you have the spell up, so that way it is quiet and stealthy instead of, as Valara said, potentially distracting or creating attention on us.
How long has it been since I left the house?
It's been about 20 minutes.
Oh. Well, yeah, I've got like 40 minutes left on this guy.
Well, let's use it to our advantage, yes?
Alright, well maybe then since Valara's, wait, when someone leaves, it drops off of them, right? When
Pass without trace?
yeah, when they leave the area, or is it...
It's per creature, isn't it?
I think it's per creature. I
It
think
should
it's
stay
like,
with you wherever you go.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it
I
is.
think it's like invisibility, where if someone goes too far away from you, it drops because you have to be able to see them, and I don't know. But I think pass without trace is just like a passive thing.
I think I'm getting
Oh,
it mixed
yeah.
up with
Veiled
something
shadow
else.
radiates from you, masking you and your companions. So it's
If you
radiating.
drop it, yeah, if you drop it, it drops on everybody.
Yeah, but I was thinking if Valara got out of
Range.
range.
You'd probably
Is there a
need to go with
range?
them, huh?
30, each creature you choose within 30 feet.
When the spell is cast, and then it stays held up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that it would necessarily drop if she got too far away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, then, since Valara and I are still cloaked in shadow, we might as well be the ones to ride you around, yeah?
That would be great. Just trying to see because the more ground that we can cover in 10 minutes, the better it'll be for me to save my other spells for later.
Valara, are you
okay.
strong enough?
I'm pretty strong. How would I know? Which should I look at?
That's difficult because we don't normally deal with being encumbered. And I don't typically tend to care about weight and stuff like that for items, but Jacques is about 7 feet, and you said he's about 200-ish pounds. Valara, how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet. I'm 6 feet, including like my upper half, but like I'm a regular sized horse. I'm not like a pony. I'm like a
Yeah,
regular
yeah.
full sized horse with just like.
Carry that much. If you think about like what a horse can carry more than 200 pounds.
Yeah. Typically, it's going to be a bit of a strain, and it's definitely going to hurt your joints because typically someone as tall as Jacques would be carried on like a war horse or a draft horse, something that's a little bit bigger, more hands, but you can do it.
Okay.
It just
could
won't be very
also
comfortable.
Become a war horse.
You could. You could become a war horse.
Hit the gym.
Hit the gym.
Become a war horse, and I will come along with you for backup.
All right.
That sounds good. Yes.
And we will all continue to stealth.
Yeah.
And you'll stay here in the park.
Well, it does seem like your friends here are having fun in the grass.
They are enjoying the grass.
Would you rather have me be a war horse or like a dire wolf?
I think that perhaps a war horse is the safest one, considering my figure is quite large, and I do not wish to break you as a teeny
Either
little
way,
dire
it'll
wolf.
be fine. They're both very strong. I just didn't know if you had like, you thought like a wolf would be cooler or something.
Knowing the size of my thighs, I would crush the wolf in between them. So
No,
it might
a
be.
dire wolf.
Yes, no, yes, that's I know. A war horse might be safest.
All right.
The war horse is bigger and a little bit sturdier than a dire wolf. Even though a dire wolf is large, that'd be something that like a human could ride. Jack's a little bit bigger than that.
All right. I'll do a war horse then.
All right.
Okay.
Describe the war horse that you turn into.
I turn into a nice big sturdy horse that with pale green fur looks almost white, but it's green. And the mane is now magenta.
You know what I just realized? Erica, you're basically playing Beast Boy.
I'm Beast Boy.
All right. So you see this majestic, vaguely whimsical looking massive warhorse that appears.
Perfect. I feel that there's one or two things. I could try to locate an object that feels more valuable than the other, or I can go with the one that I feel I understand the best. The specific needs of the turtle. I don't think there's many of them around. So I feel that might be the direction to go in for now. And then if I cannot find anything, I can try it one more time.
I trust your instincts.
Here goes. All right, I'm gonna cast Locate Object and really try to visualize that turtle with the purple thread, everything that was spoken about by David. And I try to focus on a stuffed turtle as I concentrate.
You close your eyes and you focus, and you can picture this little stuffed turtle with its green velvet fur and the purple thread holding an arm together and the small black embroidered eyes. And you feel two things. You feel, from your locate object specifically, a tug straight below you, straight down. From elsewhere, you feel a little warmth on your hand, on your face. And when you open your eyes, you all see from the ring on his hand, a light appears. And a small figure, just about this big, comes out of that light. It's in the shape of a woman with very long limbs and a very long neck and a blurry face. The features shift a little bit, very long flowing hair like she's underwater. And she goes up and she puts a tiny little hand on Jacques' cheek, waking him up. And this little figure, a guide from your goddess, points up the hill.
Should I go that way or should we go down?
She
Or are they
continues to point.
connected? Okay. Everybody, can we go as quickly as possible, please? 2, 3. All right, so I hiya, and hopefully we can go in the exact direction she's pointing.
Yeah, she flies a little bit ahead of you. She is very speedy. And you all dash off. Are you leaving the two in the garden? Or are you all going?
Because we aren't on Pass Without Trace, right? So
No, you're not.
No.
well, I guess.
I would just be like, come on, everybody. Like,
So you're telling us to come too? Okay, yeah.
everyone.
Then we'll all go. We'll
Okay.
let you guys go a little further ahead, but we'll be following.
All right. So this
I'll
group,
ride Artemis. Can I ride Artemis? My
Yeah,
legs.
you can ride Artemis. We can both, I think, ride Artemis, right?
you're human-sized and medium-sized?
I'm human-sized, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be a little bit slower because normally she can, like Valara, carry two medium or smaller sized people. She can carry you. It's just a little laborious.
Okay.
And it's actually perfect because it keeps you a couple of feet behind your companions.
And
you
I'm
see-
waiting around. We're just going on a joyride. Going on a relaxing.
Okay. So you see ahead of you on the warhorse with Valara trailing behind very quickly, Jacques following this little ruby red figure. And Jacques, this figure leads you up streets. You weave through some side alleys and you go back and forth between the left street and the main street in the center. And you end up getting further up towards the peak where you were before. But the figure stops in front of one of many massive houses. This is a proper mansion. There's about 4 or 5 of these houses of this size. And from the sheer volume of it, of building, you get the sense this is a place where one of the excessively wealthy lives. It's a 4-story building, and the front of the building has these Grecian columns on every row and balconies that wrap around the front. There is gold fleur-de-lis. The outside is done in a white stone with black paint doing details, stripes, diagonal lines. It's a little hectic, very excessive. And there's a rather large lawn in front of it, at least twice the size of the houses that are down below. And the lawn is just grass with a couple of topiaries.
Okay, so I wait for my allies to all gather.
Mhm.
And then as we all stagger, I pull you in and I say, okay, so my locate object pointed directly down. So the item is round, but underground. And as you can see, my little tiny dancer, she brought us here. That being said, I don't know how the two connect, but I think that there is a story or a connection between the two of them. I don't know if we should approach this house with the same candor we had in the more poor neighborhood. I think that a couple of you probably have better skills at putting these puzzle pieces together, maybe finding an entrance or a way to connect the two things. And that's it. Hey, we're doing it. It's pretty good, yeah?
Okay, so you're saying we should sneak in?
Maybe not sneak in, but find an entrance or a way that to approach this home. I feel uncomfortable seeing this much wealth. It's not. To be
Perhaps-
frank, I don't believe in it. My goddess doesn't either.
You don't believe in...
Excessive wealth. This sort of thing, it strangles those who need it more.
But perhaps I should make myself look like a very wealthy person,
Okay, yes.
and I can play a part, I suppose, and see what happens.
Maybe you said you have information about this festival, yes? That's happening in town?
Yes.
Maybe there's some sort of
You could be raising money for a special float
You could
to
be
benefit the orphan refugees.
and you could be on the planning committee as well, and you need,
And you too, Rufus, you're the special act.
all
Oh
right.
yes, with Rufus. I mean, you're famous.
Well, to some, not everyone.
So the two of us will go. Perhaps you are still under pass without trace, no?
Perhaps we could try to find a storm cellar or some way to get below.
Yes, a storm cellar, or even luring them out. They would we were talking about how this excessive robberies, right? They are stealing things that are not important. So what if we set up a situation like that, similar, where there are people, refugees, all about to leave their home for the festival, with items that are not of importance, and we can say it's happening later today or in an hour, so the bandits go and we can get them.
We can give it a try. All right, let me see. And Daisy starts to think on like the wealthiest woman that she's ever met in her life, and it's this like, middle-aged woman who she met who just is dripping in like pearls and diamonds, and she has like silver updo, and she wears furs, and she's like, what do you think? Do I look rich?
Very,
It's quite impressive.
All right.
Wait, before we all go, I just want to close my eyes and cast Beacon of Hope very quickly. So all of you guys have hope and vitality for a minute. You get advantage on wisdom saving throws and death throws. And just in case. So take a moment.
Right. Yeah. I feel good.
All right. I'm going to also dress Artemis up to make her look very fancy.
With what?
With the furs that I was wearing.
Okay.
She's just gonna have a little like fur hood.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take off one of my because I have several pearl and diamond and string it around Artemis's neck.
Perfect. She looks very dainty while still being a massive metal hippopotamus. All right.
All right, so Rufus, you're going with me. The three of you will you try and sneak around and see if you can see anything while I distract?
I think I'm going to walk up and down the street just as a cleric of Blanca and stay nearby with either I say.
All right, and what are you doing, Leaf and Valara?
Leaf will drop Wild Shape. And I guess we're gonna sneak about. Take a look.
I'm going to look for a storm cellar or some way to get down.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, team. Good luck and break.
All right.
And here we go.
Let's go to Valara really fast. Valara, where are you looking for a storm cellar?
Well, we're in a rich neighborhood, right?
You are. You're in the middle of a bunch of houses.
So I would look. I would be walking like I'm. Well, you describe to me how it looks, and I'll tell you where I am.
Okay. There's like a large house to your left. There's 3 in the center and a large house to your right. They're just big and square. They don't have typical roofs with like tiling and stuff. It's just flat on the top, and there's a little widow's walk at the top as well, and a little fencing. Very Victorian.
Okay, because what I would like to do, and tell me if this is possible, is walk kind of like it's almost like a driveway alleyway that can go to the back of houses, so I can see like their backyards, like I'm picturing I'm picturing a very specific neighborhood in Austin.
Okay.
and basically that would allow me to see like backyards, like if people have like gardens, or if they have wishing wells, or if they have storm cellars.
Okay. I'll say they don't really have backyards. The only yards they have are in the front. And you've seen this, bless you, through the rest of the town. No one really has a backyard. It's very London. All your yard is in the front, right in front of your house. You see one house has a little wishing well in the front yard. It's rather small, and it has a little bucket that goes down into it. It's a wooden frame on top that's covered in ivy, and it has a white stone face of a cherub on either side. And you see another house that has sort of a cellar door. There's a large door arched, like a cathedral door on the side of one of these houses. And it has steps in front of it that begin to go down to the door. So you can tell this door goes down somewhere. But you're going to have to climb into someone's yard and
I won't do that. I'm just getting a lay of the land for now.
Okay.
and noting where these little downward places might be, since Jacques said that he felt called down, but to go up to this area first. So.
yeah, there's really only the one.
Okay.
Make a history check.
21.
Oh, with a 20, perfect. I love when you roll high on history checks so I can tell you shit.
Yeah.
You've seen areas like this on houses, and with your best guess, you can assume it's like a lot of the places in Mozumdar where they have a little dugout underneath the house for preserves. because it's a little bit cooler down there, but it's also just a place where you can put your excess food and preserves that you're not going to be eating that you don't need immediately. So you do know that there's a little, like a smaller pantry underneath this house, but it's not deep. It doesn't go very deep underground.
Okay, I'm thinking Leaf could maybe, I don't know, turn into a giant earthworm or something.
Sure.
just making mental notes.
I'll never stop you from doing what you want.
Okay. All right, then, so now that I've gotten my lay of the land and I've clocked little preserve dugouts in the architecture that's reminiscent of Mosendar, I'm going to, while I'm still in stealth mode, kind of circle back around to where I left Rufus and Daisy to kind of
hang back.
Yeah, hang back if there's some place that I could kind of tuck behind, but where I could see them without looking like I'm peeking Tom into someone's window.
There's like another alleyway. Again, there's a bunch of alleyways that surround these 3 main roads, and you can duck into one and look very nonchalant, leaning against a wall.
Just a centaur in a rich neighborhood, no business.
Yeah, very typical. In the meantime, Daisy and Rufus, you are in front of this gated garden in the front yard of a large, kind of tacky house. What do you do?
I'm going to approach with confidence.
And I'm following you.
And knock on the door and say, hello, hello.
So you push through the gate, which is thankfully unlocked, to go into the front garden. You pass this pristine stone walkway that doesn't have a single blade of grass in between the stones. You head up the little flight of steps to this big door that's about twice your size, and you knock. You hear very faint orchestral music coming from inside, some like Vivaldi-esque. And after a beat, the door opens, and in front of you is a portly older gentleman. He has a very broad build. He has just a ring of white hair around the back of his head. He has slightly pointed ears. You can tell he's maybe a half-elf. The bags under his eyes are very deep, and they're very deeply sunken. He has a very skinny, long nose that comes to a little point and thin lips. And he stares you down and he says, yes, can I help you?
Hello. Hello. It is my pleasure to meet you. I am Lady Fairweather.
Okay, and?
And this is, well, you may have heard of him. Rufus Rippard.
Rufus? I don't know any Rufus.
Yes.
He's a quite famous musician.
What kind of music do you play?
You know, I happen to play some rock and roll, but
garbage.
But I love
rock and roll garbage. No.
I love the classics that you're playing inside. I studied them back in Mosendar, where I'm from.
What do you want? Why are you at my door?
We were just we're going around the neighborhood because you know the festival is coming up, the spring festival for Morna.
So
and so well this afternoon we're having all the lovely refugees. They're all coming down to the park in the middle of town, and
can you make an insight check for me? And Rufus, will you make a perception check?
Yes, darling.
16, you said?
8.
And an 8. Yeah, Rufus, you're focused on his clothing, which is very elaborate. He has on a long tunic, and it's an A-line. It trails behind him. He has these little pointed slippers that are a baby blue, and they're coated in all sorts of embroidery of different kinds. And he's wearing sort of like leggings underneath. It's very fashionable, almost high fashion. And he has this big shawl of fake fur on top. Not fake fur, it's fleece. And that's all you notice.
Is Leaf doing some sneaking around while we're distracting him? Is that the plan? I forgot.
I don't know, but we'll get to Leaf in just a second. Daisy, with your 16, you notice when you say refugees, a look comes over his face. He's grumpy, but he's even more grumpy when you mention them.
Do you have thoughts on the refugees? Because I'll tell you, I have thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, that it's just awful that we have them here.
Yes, why are they on our town? Taking our resources.
Exactly.
Not that I have any problem with them, mind you, but this is our money, and these are our pieces of furniture, and I don't have anything to spare.
Clearly.
Yes, I'm living on brass tacks.
I'm catching up, so I'm looking at. I was just staring at his outfit and being like, "Oh, noted. I want that, and I should start wearing leggings."
It's
And
a
then
nice outfit, yeah.
Yeah, and Daisy, as this lady, just all of a sudden says how refugees are awful, and I kind of try to catch up here. So I'm just kind of nodding. Oh, right.
And I mean, not to say that they deserved getting their things taken, but
No, certainly not, but I can't say I'm upset. Maybe they'll leave and they'll find their own town, you know?
yes, I imagine that whoever took their things, because obviously they're not worth much of any significance. I imagine
from what I've heard,
whoever took their things just are trying to tell them and give them a message to get out.
Yes, I'm sure that's it. Behind him, you hear this very delicate clink, 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 and over his shoulder, you see a beautiful woman. She has long, cascading golden hair. She's wearing a white gown that's very low cut and a massive ruby on a necklace. She's fairly young, and there's a glow about her skin. Like, she's one of those people that's like, I'm not wearing any makeup, but she's just radiant. And she has these smoky eyes that are deep and a dark blue. She comes up next to him and she places a hand on his shoulder with these long fingernails, and you see a giant ruby ring on her hand, and she says, Friedrich, darling, what's going on? And he says, oh, neighbors, we're just talking.
Oh, hello, my name is Lady Fairfield. Fairview.
Can you make a deception check for me?
I forgot. Oh no. 15.
The man seems in a huff. You got him on a conversation that he has a lot of feelings about. The woman, however, looks you up and down. She doesn't say anything, but she just smiles, and it's cold.
That necklace is quite stunning, I must say, and your ring, your matching ring, gorgeous.
Thank you. And she very nonchalantly brushes back her wavy, long golden hair, and you see a giant pendulous pair of matching earrings.
Oh, and earrings to match. Fantastic.
Yes, dear Friedrich gave them to me.
Oh.
An anniversary gift.
What a generous husband.
He is my sweetheart. And she leans over and gives him just the tiniest little peck on his cheek, and he just doesn't care.
I look at the older man and I go, okay. Now I get it.
Friedrich and I were just discussing the refugees.
Oh, yes, nasty business, isn't it?
Yes, how smart it was for those who took their things to try and, get them to go elsewhere, don't you think?
Sure.
If only we could thank them in some way,
He's famous. Have you heard of Rufus Rippard?
No, I'm sorry, darling. I don't think I've heard of you.
That's all right. A beautiful woman as yourself has better things to do. Am I right?
Sure.
What do you do in your spare time, darling?
Wouldn't you like to know? And she winks.
Well, we were discussing how all the refugees and everyone in town will be in the center park this afternoon, preparing for the Festival of Morna. So we wanted to invite, I mean, not that you'd want to mingle with them, but just let everyone know that we'll all be there.
But also, that means they won't be at their houses. Will they?
The woman and Friedrich look to each other and chuckle a little bit, and they say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not one for gatherings. Thank you for your time. Fair weather. Thank you." And he
Fairview, Lady
shuts
Fairview.
the door. He shuts the door.
So I start walking the other way, and I'm like, and I say, yeah, Daisy, I feel like I saw where you were going, and then I tipped in, that the house is going to be vacant, because then maybe if this is this girl I don't trust, maybe she tells the bandits or friends or she is one, and then they go to rob more houses and we catch them.
That's what I was thinking. Good thinking, Rufus. Using that brain of yours.
Sometimes it comes out and it's not caught in the fog haze from, back in the day.
All right, well, let's go around the corner so I can be Daisy again.
Okay.
As much fun as Lady Fairview.
It is a nice look on you, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's go. Find the others.
All right, you go around the corner. Leaf, what have you been doing during this time?
I thought I was going with Valara, but I guess Valara went rogue.
You can go rogue on your own if you'd like.
Sorry, I thought you were off with Jacques.
Oh, pacing with Jacques? I mean,
For some
yeah,
reason.
actually, you know what? I'll pace with Jacques, and I'll take a little, since I'm pass without traced, I'll try to just like do little peeks into little windows every once in a while, see if there's any like, or any signs of cellars, like look around houses or.
Okay. You don't see any cellars except for the one that Valara saw earlier. You peek in a couple windows, you see some families dining together at opulent tables overflowing with food, using crystal and fancy china, all like gold lined and hoity-toity. And you see a couple, you go to a house and you see a couple dancing in their living room to some kind of music. And you go to a back window and you peer in and you see the back of a large man and a very elegantly dressed blonde woman. And over their shoulder you see Rufus and what you're pretty sure is Daisy now. Can you make a perception check for me?
Yes, I can. Dirty 20.
Nice. I love it. So you're looking into a large hallway, and something that stands out to you is that it's actually empty. There's no furniture, there's no decorations, no rugs, no paintings on the walls. You see an open doorway into a kitchen, which is almost bare, except for a plate of rotting food on the table. You can see it from here. It's a nasty green, it's covered in some kind of fuzz. You see stairs on the left that go up somewhere in this huge house. Most notably, what you see in the left wall is a large black marble fireplace. And with your dirty 20, what you notice is smoke coming from the fireplace, but not where you would expect. It's coming from underneath the massive black marble tile in front of it.
Leaf's gonna drop down from looking in the window and like scurry over to Jacques.
Mm-hmm.
Like tug on his tunic.
What is it?
That house that Rufus and Daisy are at.
Yes.
It's weird. And I think there's a secret underpart of it.
then we should go there.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to get in. Cause it's like
You see a way
empty.
in?
Yeah, maybe tonight. You
Yes.
know,
We'll keep our wits about us and we'll wait for everybody else to gather and then we'll
cause I know
go underneath the
Rufus.
cover.
Yeah, Rufus can do some invisible things. I can do some Tracy things, and if I get a short rest in, I could also transform into like a little rat or something.
That's a good idea, considering I'm very large and quite loud. So I think tonight is the way to do it.
Yeah, let's go find the others.
Okay.
At this point, Daisy and Rufus are coming around the corner. Valara, you see at a diagonal, a kitty corner from you, all of your friends have kind of gathered and they're looking around for you, waiting.
Oh, I come up to them.
All right.
How did it go? Did anyone learn anything? I found a few places where perhaps we could get underground, if that is what Jacques' gut is telling him to do.
Well, the house where Daisy and Rufus were talking to, it looked like smoke was coming up from underneath the fireplace. So that might be a good place to check out, you know?
You're muted, Kim.
I'm muted. Smoke underneath the fireplace.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't trust them.
Well, okay, we've created this plan of, well, we'll see if they try and leave during the afternoon.
Someone can follow them. Well, you think that the bandits are in somehow underneath? Well, Jacques, you did feel like we thought that we were going to draw them out to go rob people's houses, and then we'd catch them. But
I think we have options on the table. I think we need to watch and see what they do.
Yeah.
But if their home is as odd as you say, I think hopefully we can at least infiltrate and get more information, and maybe we will find them where they don't expect. So I think whatever you did set up the right situation.
well, that's
Yeah.
good. Make them leave.
Well, I just need to get a short rest, and then I'll be much more helpful.
Right.
Because then I can
Let's,
transform.
let's then plan on, since I said this afternoon, let's take a little rest in the park, and then we'll go back and we'll keep an eye on the house. And if they leave, we'll sneak in. And if, at night at the very least.
I think that's
Yeah,
a great
if they-
idea.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are you doing right now?
I think we take a short rest
Where are you going?
Back to the
Yeah.
park?
back
Back
to the park.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to the house and like keep a little eye on them.
Sure. You head to the park. You take a short rest. By this time it's about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And you can see the sun peeking up and giving off an amber glow as it starts to head further down in the sky. And then you head back to the house. How are you doing this? Trying to keep an eye on them.
Does somebody have that thing? The Rufus. You were talking about the familiar. Something that can
I could do that.
attack and stalk for us.
I also have Calliope.
Oh. Well,
I
do you want to send
I can
Calliope?
I can send Calliope to kind of keep an eye on them. She's
Can you
very.
see through her eyes?
I can't. No, I can't see through her eyes, but she can come get us if anything happens.
So your familiar's eyes could be staying on them, and you could keep seeing what they're doing, hopefully, and then Calliope will come.
Oh, well, yeah, that might be better. You're familiar because you can see through its eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cast Find Familiar, and I'm going to pick what's a common animal in this neighborhood? Have you guys seen any around?
Around here, there aren't a lot of animals. You do think you could get when you reach out your senses trying to find your familiar, you think that you could get a small snake or a spider or a field mouse or a squirrel, things like that.
I feel like I'm gonna go with the squirrel.
Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah. So I think about it, and I think of, just a bushy tail, and how that dance was back in the 70s, that, a bushy tail, that one, it was very common, a bushy
Yeah.
tail. And I'm thinking about that, and then, it pops out.
Sure.
It not pops out, but it like scurries down.
So what happens, because your find familiar, I believe, is an ethereal being?
Yes.
Yeah, so at your feet, you see this weave of magic begin to form. It's almost like a 3D printer. These runes come together very, very small, and they start to weave the fabric of this squirrel until he's fully formed.
More rising.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you now have a small squirrel. He's made of dark brown, but if you look close, you can see these little runes floating across the surface.
So you could make him go down the chimney. I once had a squirrel come down my chimney.
Well, do we want to send him down and following the people? Which one do we want him to do? Go with Calliope or do...
I think just keeping an eye on them so we know where they're at when they leave. You could spy.
I think he should go follow them, right?
Yes.
I was assuming that they would still be in the house, since they said they did. Didn't you say that they didn't want to leave in the afternoon? So I was thinking, perhaps we could create a diversion in the street to lead them out of the house. Maybe Artemis and Calliope could be in a fight or something. I don't know. And then Rufus the squirrel could go down the chimney and see what's in the house.
Whatever you wanted to do, you tell me, I tell it. I'm getting a little foggy up here.
Yes, I think we have to wait, at least gather information while we're here. Stalk them, see where they're going, bide our time a little bit, so that way we can make moves when we feel better informed.
All right, how about this? We wait until they leave, and then we sneak in. Simple as that. And if they don't leave, then we sneak in at night when it's dark.
I thought it was night. I think I'm on an acid trip right now.
It's 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, I thought we'd already taken a break.
The amber sun is going down lower in the sky. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
we're just waiting. I thought we were already there.
Okay, so
You're at the house.
your familiar's going to, so we can kind of hide around the corners. No one sees us. Your familiar's going to go in and keep an eye, so we can keep an eye and see what they're doing.
Okay, I thought that was happening later at night.
Let's just do it now and see what happens.
Sure, let's do that. Might have picked a different animal. Squirrels in the house aren't very
The
good.
problem with being a DM is sometimes you give your players a situation and then they spend 20 minutes talking about what to do.
Yeah, I think I got confused because I thought we had already taken our short rest and it was nighttime now.
Yeah, you did. No, you took a short rest, and at the end of the
But
short rest,
it's
it was
usually
3 or
just
4
1 hour.
Okay, well, there you go. I thought it was more like, 5.
Nah.
I don't know. All right, so we're back at the house. I'm gonna send in the score. Oh, but are we waiting, guys? What are we doing?
You're sending in the squirrel now, and you're keeping an eye on what's going on. And if they leave, we're going to try and sneak down. And if they don't leave, we're going to sneak at night.
Okay, let's do that. On he goes. I just go give him and he goes in the house.
He goes in the house?
No, I think he's around, like at the windows, like a squirrel in the tree.
Right. You watch your squirrel run off, and he climbs up into one of the topiaries on the other side of the garden, and he sits in the relative hiding spot that he's found in the middle of a ball of leaves and stares into the window. And a couple hours pass, and nothing happens. It starts to get a little dark. And then more time passes, And the sun sets, and your squirrel has not left the tree. It's waiting for any sign of movement, as you'd told him. But so far, nothing.
All right, I say, now that it's dark, we sneak in. What do you think?
Yeah.
I can cast invisibility on myself. Does anyone else have any sort of stealth making?
I can turn into an animal. I can turn into an animal of some sort and get in that way. I can also pass without trace if that's better.
Accidental trace might be a good thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because that will help all of us, no? Pass without trace?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many does that? How many?
Excellent question.
I can also cast invisibility upon myself.
It just says each creature you choose
Yeah.
within 30 feet. So I think it's just like a general.
Okay.
Well, let's all pass without trace then.
All right.
You do so.
And I'm, yeah. We'll just do fast without trace for now.
Sure. So how are you planning to try and get in?
Back door.
Back door.
I'm going to set. I can send Calliope down the chimney.
Sure.
And perhaps unlock or like open the back door. from the
Use
inside.
your little beak to like.
Would
pick 'em up.
Calliope be able to do that?
I don't know. Would she?
It was made by an artificer.
Yeah, but she's a hummingbird.
Could be a
How
pocket
is a
knife hummingbird.
hummingbird going to unlock a door?
With
You
their
know what?
like picking a lock, with like a pin, but because the hummingbird has such a tiny little beak.
Sure.
I will follow
If
with.
it's that kind of lock, absolutely. She could fake a key with her tongue. Why not?
Let's try it.
I cast Mage Hand, and Mage Hand would like to hover following Calliope.
Okay.
Before you all go, I wish to just make a quick connection between all of us. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. I can only choose 3 of you. So is there anybody here who often needs a little bit of extra luck?
All of us, really.
Take your
We're
pick.
quite large,
Okay.
and we're trying to be not obvious, so I could probably use some extra luck.
Okay. So I shall sprinkle a little goodness on Valara, Rufus this time, and I'll do Leaf because I feel that Daisy is capable herself, very strong. So I take a moment and I close my eyes, and you see my hands open from my ring. You see like my ring kind of glow. I try to keep it out of your eyesight, Valara, out of respect for your eyes.
Thank you.
But as you can see kind of like an energy pulling, you see these like strings of magic start to like connect all of us together. So this is something called emboldening bond. I chose a pretty cool cleric build. So this creates a magical bond between us for 10 minutes where once per turn you can roll a d4 to an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw. So hold on to your d4 and know that for 10 minutes we're all like connected.
Yeah. All right.
So thank you to Jacques. Jacques, thank you. I don't know if this also works for yourself, so I will give you a bardic inspiration. I cannot cast bardic inspiration on myself, but now you have a 1d8.
Oh, Trian, thank you.
All right. So you send Calliope, followed by this floating silver hand, up into the sky, and they both disappear down this chimney. A moment passes. You guys staying in the front? Where are you going?
Well, we're sending them to the back, so I imagine we're sneaking around.
All right. Then everyone roll a stealth check for me.
Don't forget to add 10 for pass without trace.
Add 10?
Okay.
Yep.
That's
So mine is
49.
mine's also a 29.
24.
16. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you too. 17.
Do I have to roll one for
Oh.
Artemis too?
For Artemis, yeah.
And do I have to roll for Twixby? My
Twixby?
squirrel friend?
Is Twixby following you, or is he just sitting in
Well,
the...
I have to be within 200 feet. He's not following right now. I need to stay within. Have we moved enough where I'm still able to be 100 feet from him?
About that. You're on the verge.
I'm on the verge.
So 19 for
Artemis, okay.
Maybe I'll do it to pre-roll if we move more. 21.
Okay.
He's better stealthy than I am.
So are you leaving him at the front of the house?
He's I'm gonna take, because can we see? We can't see into the house right now.
You can see if you peek in a window.
So he has wherever he has better vantage of. I want him at that, or do we see the people still? Can he see the people?
No. You
No.
never got any movement from him, which means that he didn't see anyone in the house.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to want him at his best vantage point to see Calliope if she comes out of the chimney, right, into the fireplace.
Okay.
For
Sure.
now.
Then he'll stay where he is because he can see through the
Great.
front window.
For now.
All right. You head to the back of the house as your mage hand and Calliope go inside. And a moment passes and you hear this little on the door in front of you, that back door. And you hear a clunk. And the door swings open.
you even have to roll for it.
Yeah, because it was the mage hand that did it.
Oh.
It was not a key. It was like a deadbolt. So unfortunately, Calliope was just pecking at it, trying to do something. Thankfully, Valara sent the mage hand in with her, which can unlock a deadbolt. So the door swings open on silent hinges, and you're faced with a dark, empty hallway. And oddly enough, it's warm in here. There's a warmth radiating from this hallway. And you see, again, where Leaf points, smoke coming from a large tile in front of this fireplace.
We should try to move the tile and see what's underneath.
Yeah, but it might be hot, so we might want to be careful in case it's, the smoke made it like heated it up.
Is the door that we entered in like the back kitchen door? Like, could I scan around?
Nope, it's just a back door. So the back door is right next to the window that Leaf was looking into. So you're seeing the same thing that Leaf was seeing earlier. The back door opens and it's just a dark, empty hallway. Dead ahead of you, you see the front door and a bunch of windows that look out into the front garden, and you can wave to your squirrel friend. To your right, you see a doorway into an empty kitchen with a bowl of rotting fruit, which you can now smell. It's a sickly, awful, sweet smell coming from the kitchen. And you get the sense that with the power of that smell, there's more in there somewhere. You see a staircase going up, and you see a massive fireplace. No decorations. Very sparse.
Do I see any door that might be like down to the storehouse?
Again, you only
preserver?
seen the front door, and you've seen the side door that's open. No other doors.
Okay.
Daisy's going to try and hold her hand over the smoking tile and see if it seems like there's heat emanating from it.
Okay, you step in and you put your hand over the tile, just hovering. You get a little bit of warmth. It's like a shower, that kind of warmth if you walk into a room and there's heat.
Then I'm going to kind of quickly touch it.
Okay, it's warm, but it's certainly not hot.
It's not hot. Let's try and move it.
All right.
Delicately.
All right. You begin to delicately move the tile. And we're going to take a quick break.
Quick pause, and we're back.
Pause. All right, welcome back. So it takes all 5 of you to move this because it's a big, heavy slab of marble, beautifully cut, absolutely flawless. But you can move it. You can move it. You start to sort of shimmy it from side to side, and you realize it's loose, and you pull it away. It's about the size of the top of a tomb, like a coffin. You pull it away, and you reveal a descending staircase of stone and stone walls.
And there's smoke coming up the staircase.
There is. When it hits your face, it's warm and a little humid.
Down we go.
Let's do it.
Yep, we go down.
All
Who
right.
wishes to lead the way? Daisy?
Sure, I have Artemis with me.
She always really leads the way. I think she should be the designated leader.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. You begin to descend this stone staircase. And as you step down and your full body is underneath the fireplace, you're hit with just humidity. It's like Houston in the middle of summer. You open a door from air conditioning, it's just a wall of moisture. And you feel it on your face. It's not entirely unpleasant. It's like stepping into a sauna, but it's very warm and very moist. And each of you experience this as you step down into it. And you go a little bit further. It's very dark down here, but you all, thankfully, except for Jacques, have dark vision now, an added perk to whatever's happening to you. As you go down these steps, you notice it's a very narrow passage of just stone, but it's very purposefully made. It's man-made. It's not just a dugout underneath this house. It arcs a little bit further into a loop, and you end up going down a little bit of a spiral. And ahead of you, finally, you see it opens up from the darkness, and you can barely make out some light. You can't see into the room yet. The door's down here and you're kind of up here, but you can now see the door and you can see the light coming from it. It's just an open arch into another area. What would you like to do?
I'll keep walking toward the light.
Okay. Are you trying to stealth or are you just...
Sure. Could I also do a perception check just to see if there for anything above me? Is there anything above, or are we just like in a tunnel, like
It's
cellar?
like a stone ceiling. It's a little bit arched. It's not too far above your head.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing above you.
I'd recommend we sneak, maybe. Just putting that out there.
Say that again.
I said I recommend that we sneak. Just
Yeah, let's sneak.
slide that out there.
All right. So, Valara, since you're the one at the head, can everybody make a stealth check for me? But, Valara, I also need you to make a perception check.
Oof, that's a natural one on the stealth. But and
Can I flash
a natural one on perception too. Bad die.
Can I flash of genius her on that stealth?
Sure.
We already...
Well, you know what?
One.
Yeah. Don't waste it.
Yeah, I'm going to make a DM roll. I'm sorry. I'm going to say since it's because a nat 1 always has consequences and you don't add modifiers to a nat 1, especially on skill checks like this, I'm going to go ahead and say no.
All right. Can't help you there.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still adding 10?
You are.
So, okay, 31.
Nice.
27 for Artemis and 17 for Daisy.
Okay.
27.
Cool.
It's a 12.
And a 12. Oh, Jacques.
Or it won't be as bad as mine.
I was going to say, thankfully, I think all the attention's going to be elsewhere. Valara, you're the first one there.
Oh.
And when you look in the doorway, you see a huge cavern. It opens up into a natural, not man-made space. But all of the walls have been curated. So they're all stone walls down here. It looks like the ceiling itself is still a natural cavern ceiling. However, what catches your attention is this dirt gives way to a little underground lake. And there's a massive platform floating in the lake and several smaller platforms back in the back. You see on a far, far wall an opening where this lake sort of leads into an underground river and goes away. However, on this massive platform in the center of this room, on top of this lake, you see a huge column of fire. And it's purple. It's purples, and then it's greens, and then it shimmers like something underwater. And you see the figure of this older man standing in front of it. No fear, very, very close to it. And you'd think at this point he would be on fire because he reaches his hand out and puts it in and does something. And as you're looking around, you notice belongings. Tons and tons and tons of pieces of furniture, paintings that are leaned up against a wall, vases, statues, piles of gold and necklaces, just bits and bobs from houses. You see shoes, you see a shawl, you see the stuffed animal. Tons and tons of things, baskets and pots and pans, and even a ton of things that have no monetary value really at all, just piled in the room all over. And you can see some of it in the very faint waves on the shoreline of this lake. It looks like some of it's been tossed in. Staring at you from the platform is a figure. And you hear this echoing voice at you, Valara, specifically, that says, I knew you would come. And this figure unfurls its massive bat-like wings, and you see a hand float over the head, and as they do, the long hair disappears, and two massive pointy horns come from the top of the head. You see the body change and warp. It becomes taller and broader, and you see the feet change into that of a fawn. They dip back into the back knee and then down into hooves, and you see a long tail. This is not a typical tiefling. Can you make a history check for me? Just Valara.
So are you saying that like it was the old man?
Mhm.
And
And then a different figure. It looked like, I mean, Valara's the only one that can see it right now because she's in the doorway.
Don't forget my 1d4, you guys, for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my history check, actually, to make it a 15.
Okay, with a 15. You know this is not a tiefling. It's some kind of awful cousin to a tiefling, and in fact, being in Mozamdar, you've heard of these before. A succubus.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And Valara, she steps forward, and from braziers that are on the walls that you can't see right now, you see her face illuminated, and there are peaks of flesh that come off of her cheeks in almost whiskers, and two from her chin, just sharp, spiny bits, and her features are contorted and more defined. She has a deep, deep jaw that juts to a point and then ends in those two little talons. And her eyebrows are deeply set and very intense, but her beautiful eyes, even from here, you can see her beautiful eyes. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. And don't forget your D4.
I used it.
Oh,
Can I
you
use
know
it?
it's
Yeah.
constant.
I think it's,
Oh,
yeah,
it's constant.
for like 10
Okay.
minutes.
Once per turn. So if this is a new turn, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, you said this is a saving throw?
It is a saving throw.
Oh, it's a natural 20. Thank God.
Ooh. You feel,
Ugh.
she whispers something and you can feel it. And you can smell some intoxicating scent, but you feel your friends behind you as well. And you go, no. And you brush it aside. She reaches out a clawed hand and just beckons you in.
Guys, we're not alone. Because I'm already outed, so I just yell back into the hallway. So
I mean,
everyone
she rolled a
knows.
nat 20 on her perception earlier, so.
Okay. Oh, so yeah. But
She
I
would-
want my friends to know that we're not
Yes,
alone.
yeah.
Okay. So I yell that, and then can I cast a chromatic orb at her? Just boom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm doing it. All right, because I don't like her. I know she has ill intent. So
This will be one round you get, and then we're gonna go into initiative.
okay. All right. So to hit, I'm casting it at the second level.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? Is it too late to change to something else?
No.
Can I
you can
cast
change.
Bane instead?
Okay. What's the range
Okay.
on Bane? On Bane? Bane?
Bane is 30 feet. Is she within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, she is.
Okay, and the dude too. Any 3 creatures up to
The dude is about 35 feet. He's a little bit further behind her.
I thought she was the
fire.
dude.
No,
Oh.
it's the woman that you saw earlier with the long gold hair.
Okay, and
Okay.
then the portly guy.
Yeah, he's the one like sticking his hand in the fire.
And
Can
she
I-
wanted us to bring them to her, not kill them, right?
Bring who to what?
That's what she said. That's what the knight captain wanted. She was like, bring them to me.
Yeah, she wanted justice.
She
Oh,
wants to-
alive.
She doesn't want us to kill him.
We'll see. We'll see. Can I move forward to make the old man
Yeah.
within my range too? So okay, fuck it. It's just gonna. I already know this is about to go down. So I just move forward and I cast Bane on the both of them as I call back to my friends like, "We're not alone. You guys must get here." And so
Okay.
they have to make a wisdom save to beat a 15.
Okay, let's see. Oh boy. All right. One of them fails and the other succeeds.
Okay. Then whoever failed just has to subtract a d4
Mhm.
from any of their attacker saves.
All right. Now it's time to roll initiative. Everybody, a roll.
19 for Daisy.
A hard 3 for Jacques.
Jacques.
12 for Valara.
Okay.
14 for Leaf.
19 for Rufus.
So Rufus and Daisy, between you two, who has the higher dex?
Mine's a +3.
She does, I believe, because
So
mine
it's-
is +1.
Rufus had a 19. All right. That's going to be right here. So the succubus rolled a nat 20 on her initiative. And since no one got higher than her, Valara, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw again.
Okay. That'll be a 16.
Don't forget
Alright.
your D4 if you ever need it.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
per round.
Once per round.
We're
Yeah.
top of
Okay.
a new round, so just in case you need it.
Okay.
I'll tell you now. You feel that something in the back of your mind very cloying, and you almost succumb to it. Almost. It gets more potent, but you shrug it off again. Instead, she moves forward straight into your range. And she reaches out with one of her massive clawed hands that have gotten larger as she transformed, and she's going to swipe right across your face with a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. These claws come scratching down. You're going to take 6 points of damage as she claws your face. And that's all she's going to do this round. All right, Daisy, it's your turn. You are in the hallway. You see the back of Valara, and you've heard that there are people in there. What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to get where I can see them.
Okay. Yeah, you can easily do that. You get inside, and do you go to the left or the right?
I go to the left.
Okay.
What are they wearing?
The succubus is not wearing anything. She just has a weird formless body. And the man is wearing the clothes that he was wearing earlier, that A-line tunic and the leggings and the slippers.
Is he wearing metal at all?
From here, you don't know. You think there's some silver in the necklace and the clasp of his fleece shawl. Or at least there was earlier.
I'm just gonna shoot at him with
Okay.
my crossbow.
Yeah. Who are you shooting at?
I'm going to shoot at the woman who just slashed Alara.
Okay. Roll to hit.
24 to hit.
That will hit. Roll your damage.
So much better today. 8 points of damage, and I'm going to shoot her again.
Do it.
13.
A 13 will not hit.
Okay. And then I'm going to send Artemis.
All right. Artemis goes charging in.
Yep. Okay. No, 13.
Is that for the woman as well?
Yeah.
Yep. That will not hit, unfortunately. But Artemis is in the fray. And now right beside you, Valara, you see this giant metallic plunk, 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 plunk. She just gets too excited. And she stops right next to you. All right, Daisy, that's your turn. Rufus, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
How many feet away with it? Did you say this already? Probably.
You are right now 30 feet. If you get in the doorway, you're 30 feet away from the woman and you're 35 feet away from the man.
Okay, I'm trying new things. I would like to cast Mind Spike
Okay, on who?
on the woman.
Mhm.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, let me roll that and I'll tell you what I get. 17?
Damn it. But it's half damage.
Okay.
So she still gets some. 3d8.
Ooh, nice.
Because I'm doing it at, I didn't tell you I was doing it at second level. And it is how much? Well, great. 7. So half of that.
Half of
3.
7. All right, round up. So what kind of damage is Mind Spike? Is it all psychic
It's a
damage?
psychic
Okay, cool.
damage.
All right.
Yeah.
So you send this mental spike into her head, and only you see this. It materializes in air and just goes right into her forehead, and she shouts. But it looks like it doesn't do as much damage as you were hoping.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
No, am I blocking anyone?
I mean, are you standing in the doorway, or
Where's Daisy?
Daisy's off to your left?
So, I mean, I've moved into the room, but out
Sure.
of the way of the door.
Okay. All right, you've moved into the room, but out of the way of the door. Leaf, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to move into the room so I can get a better vantage point.
Okay. Are you going right, left, straight?
I'll just go straight
Okay.
into the room, and then I'm going to cast Conjure Animals at 3rd level, which is the base level. And I'm going to conjure. How many can I conjure? I'm gonna go with 2 copper dragon wormlings just into the room.
All right. And I believe you have to roll initiative for them as well.
Oh yeah, I do. I forgot about that. So
I think we did last time when you did that and you summoned your like big Komodo dragons.
Mm-hmm. My lizards.
Yeah, your big boys.
That is a 19 for their
A night.
init.
What's their dex?
+1.
Okay.
They can go after Rufus.
All right, we'll put them after Rufus. Wormy boys.
Wormling.
All right, so they'll go before you. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'll just in case I'll touch my my club and I'll cast Shillelagh on it. Wait, is that a
All
bonus?
right.
That's a bonus. Yeah, that's a bonus.
I believe so.
Just in case.
All right, Leaf, that's your turn. Valara, it is now your proper turn. What would you like to do? There is a succubus right in front of your face.
Okay. Right in front of my face. Oh, hang on. then if she's right in front of my face, I'm going to reach out and touch her and bestow curse.
All right. Tell me about bestow
I've never
curse.
done this before.
Yeah.
New spell. So bestow curse. I touch a creature and that creature must succeed on a wisdom save or become cursed. And then I can choose what the curse is out of 4 options if she beats a 15.
She does not. What do you
She
do to
doesn't. Oh, I get to curse a succubus?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so I think what I'm going to do is, while cursed, the target must make a wisdom saving throw at the start of each of its turns. If it fails, it wastes its action that turn and does nothing.
Damn.
Curses, you bitch.
Saving throw. And is that on your DC as well? A DC of 15?
15, yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. It says make a wisdom saving throw and my wisdom's 15.
Okay.
To beat, for the curse.
Nice. And is there a duration on that, or is it just for the rest of the battle?
The duration, it's a concentration spell up to a minute.
All right. So you won't be able to cast any other spells while you have this because you have to concentrate on it. But for a minute of battle time, which is quite a sizable amount of battle, she's going to be cursed. Nicely done.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Let's see. What do I have for bonus actions? I'm going to hang on, the touch screen is being weird. Okay, so I'm gonna give Leaf Bardic Inspiration. I already gave one to Jacques, so I'm gonna give Daisy and Rufus Bardic Inspiration too.
All right, y'all
So
have
everyone
a Bardic
gets
Inspiration.
a 1d8.
Nicely done. Oof,
I don't like
powerful
this
group. Guess I'll just have to throw more powerful things at you. All right, that is your turn, Valara. It is the man's turn. On his turn, you actually see the succubus turn and look over her shoulder. You don't hear anything, but he reacts as if he has been given a command. He reaches into the fire and he pulls out 3 coals burning in his hand. He chucks them one at a time on his action. As he does, they land 2 on the ground in front of you, 1 on one of those floating planks in the back. It looks like a pallet that's floating in the water behind that giant platform that he's on right now. Where they hit the ground, they burst open and explode into a cascade of sparks. And when they do, from the sparks, you see small imps appear. So there are now 3 more imps. I am going to roll their initiative. That's the man's turn. Little imps. Small red beings, very gangly and skinny, large bulbous heads, pointy ears, and wings. A deep rust color. All right, that is the man's turn. Jacques, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. So that changed my plans a little bit with these new things. I did want to ask, what is the DM policy on like double spell casting if I did like a bonus action spell and a regular spell for my action?
Depending on the spell I'd let you do it, only one of them can be an attack.
Okay, yeah, because what I wanted to do, just so you know, was because spiritual weapon is always a bonus action.
Oh yeah,
So,
that'll work.
but I wanted to cast on my main action, then a cantrip. But so they would be like both damage. But I
yeah,
didn't know
if it's a cantrip, I'll definitely allow it. You can do double damage with both. It's just if it's a cantrip. Yeah.
Yes,
why
it
not?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
Why not?
I'm gonna do
Well, I
that. I'm gonna do
always
exactly
do
that
that.
Yeah, why not?
then I'm gonna exactly do that. So at a 2nd level, I cast my spiritual weapon, which is my mace with my spiky heart.
Nice.
I'm gonna walk, go in and go Zutalos, my infamous saying. And then I think I'm gonna actually focus on the woman still, even with the new creatures. I'm going to try to get the spiritual weapon down on her. That is a 24.
A 24 will hit. Roll
Yeah.
your damage.
That's a good roll. Okay, so that's 9 points of radiant damage from the spiritual weapon.
Nice.
And then I would like to keep a little far away from her, as long as she's like 30 feet away. So
yeah,
I think that my spell is exactly, it's 60 feet, so I'm fine. And then I'm going to cast out at her. I'm gonna do Sacred Flame. My
Okay.
cantrip. And that is it. Ooh, to hit. Oh wait, she has to make a dex save. She has to make a dex
Okay.
save.
All right. What's your
Roll call.
dex? 15.
6. She had to make a 16. So
All right. She fails.
she's going to get hit for 17 points of radiant damage.
Oh, you send so much damage her way. She shouts to the high heavens. Anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
No, that's it. That's it.
All right.
Go back to where you came from soon. That's it.
Jacques, as you do this, she turns to look at you. And something in your romantic nature pains you in your heart because she is so beautiful. Jacques, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
What?
Natural 20.
All right. For a moment, you feel her in your mind. And you know this is going to be difficult because there's something about her song that is so tempting. She's a being of love. And that's your deal. You're all about love. You're so romantic. You want to bring love into the world. And you hear in the back of your mind, she says, that's exactly what she wants to do as well. And there's a burning in your heart, Jacques, as this tiny, quiet voice in you says, no, not right now. And you rebuff her. And on that note, we're going to end this episode.
Oh my gosh.
Yay, I love playing with
Scary.
new spells I haven't played with before.
Oh, nice curse.
Yeah, because it's rare that I get the opportunity to use it because it's a touch one. So I
Mhm,
have
you
to
have to
be
be
really close to an enemy.
real close.
Like
Yep.
uncomfortably close.
Touched a succubus's face.
Yes, just
And it was velvety soft.
I'm sure.
Everyone for tuning in. Tune in next week. We're Girls Gets Glory. GirlsGetsGloryRPG.com, at Girls Gets Glory everywhere. I'm Kim Doherty. Kim Doherty. Find me.
I'm Erica Fermina at Estelle Pixie Everywhere. I stream on my personal Twitch channel Monday through Thursday. You can also find me on Aether's Walkway Friday mornings. What else do I do? Occultation last Saturdays of every month on
God,
Woodcat
that's right.
Gaming. I think that's everything for now. See ya.
I'm Alice Gretchen. You can find me on Instagram at Alice Gretchen or Twitter at Alice Food. I have a book coming out February 2nd. If you go to alicegretchen.com/book, you can learn more about it and get 2 free chapters.
Go read it. Kelly.
Oh, it's my turn now.
It's for
Okay,
you.
yeah. Kelly, Lindy, Angela, hey you guys, what's up? Follow me on Twitter and check out ND&D when you can. Bi-weekly drop.
Go listen to it.
I'm Kellen Coleman, and you can find me mostly on the Instagrams at Kellen Coleman, and I'll have stuff there probably that I'm doing.
Make all your announcements there, so keep an eye out. I'm Rachel Seeley. I'm your DM. I stream at Sunny Seeley, which is where you can find, I think it's down here somewhere, which is where you can find me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm on, my mind went blank. I'm on Occultation with Erica every second Saturday of the month. On Whitecat Gaming. I'm also on a cyberpunk show on Fort Nerd. And then I'm also on Silence in the Force on Probably Okay Games. And there's more that I forgot. But we're running out of time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for the host. We love you very much. Tune in.
Thank you. Bye, buddy.
Bye.